Hello again and welcome back to another one. And today we have a couple of topics to cover, from one that shows that 50 Cent could not be trusted with nuclear codes if he ever decided to pivot into that space, as he looks to be pretty much bored of going 20v1 with rappers, and now he's decided to go at the entire New York hip-hop space in a latest interview due to podcasting. And speaking on pods, if you recall, we covered the story of Joe Budden versus comedian Holcomb, who are pretty much battling it out at the moment in the epic battle of the quote, worst woman beater in the pod scene. And we got Joe Budden crash out in response to Holcomb's rant of Joe being a serial woman beater.
But man to man, you a serial woman beater.
And on Joe Budden, he also went off on J. Cole for rapping from the perspective of Tupac and Biggie on What If that sparked split reactions. And starting with 50 Cent, he went off in a recent interview with the Rolling Stone. New York City is turning into a podcast. The whole freaking New York hip-hop is turning into a podcast. So there ain't gonna be nobody for them to interview because they are all podcasters. And boy, the roasting session was on. Even 50's critics are all agreeing with this one, and the likes of Joe Budden and them are catching strays from all angles. Most rappers aren't artists, they are hustlers who know how to rap. The money dried up in the music hustle, so they've pivoted to podcasts. And recently we've seen a rise in the pivot to streaming after they found out that the likes of Speed and Kai Cenat were out-earning A-list actors in Hollywood. So this take is grounded, in my opinion, and give it up to 50 Cent saying this while his associates are about to start their own podcast, Tony Yayo and Uncle Murder, Classic 50, and on J. Cole while he was out surprising fans.
Hold on. First thing we want to do, go to the most open space we can, slowly, calmly. I swear to God, I'll walk by and shake everybody's hand, but we got to be calm. Y'all got to set the tone for these people coming. They so hyped right now. I get it. Right. So if y'all can calmly, even y'all being calm right now, they walking up wondering why it's so calm. Please stay calm. This shit too crazy. Yeah, we got crazy crew. I was at Carolina. It ain't look like this. Hey, you right here, bro.
Selling CDs out of his Civic like the good old days, hand-to-hand sales.
26.
I can sign it too if you want.
Oh, yeah. Corey,
okay, 2?
Get 2, yeah.
Ooh, y'all testing my skills right now. Hold up. I like that. Okay. Check out with 2 items. Charge $55.01. Yeah. Tap to pay on iPhone. Boom.
Now we're not in front of that.
Oh! Did it? Processing. Ooh. Yeah. Would you like me to text or email your receipt?
Text it.
All right. Ooh. Okay, let me sign. You want me to sign both?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Wow.
You ain't trying to buy a CD?
So, what's going on with the
So the festival, it was a lot. We still like, it was a lot to.
We cooking up an idea.
Yeah, we cooking up an idea, but it was a lot.
Is it gonna be here in Raleigh?
Yeah, it would still stay in Raleigh, but it was just a lot.
Cooking up an idea.
Yeah, we
Okay,
cooking
all
up something.
right.
It ain't over.
We waiting patiently.
Okay. What you think about the name though? Like,
Dreaming?
like we was trying to change the name, maybe like call it something else, boom, boom, boom. Or do you feel like it'll hit different if it's a different name? Or do you feel like it's still
it is? Yeah.
I gotta think on that.
All right. Just one? Man, thank y'all. My second
Thank
and third
you.
sale, man. Thank y'all.
Y'all getting ready to go in this mall?
Yeah. Bad idea.
No.
If we get
Gotta get mobbed.
Right, exactly.
Appreciate it.
Man, thank you.
All right, thank
I
y'all.
appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah. Take care. Y'all be safe.
We got Joe Budden out here slamming the album due to some particular songs.
but for me, this has no replay value. Like, I'm not going to be listening to this in my car. That's just the honest truth. Like, it's anticlimactic. Like, I think that he kills shit on so many features because it's somebody else's song. I think the production on somebody else's song, I think hook on somebody else's song, when he gets on it, it has all of those other components. Now you just adding his genius on it, so it's just amazing. When his feature run is amazing.
Nothing after Man Above did I need. Absolutely
You are
zero.
bugging.
I'm gonna hear this differently than y'all. I'm not gonna hear this the way that y'all are hearing it. 1. 2, I'm not saying it's bad, but do I think that his version of I Used to Love Her and how he sees it, I love how he picked it up from right where Common left off. But do I feel like that was needed?
I didn't like the
No,
light.
I don't.
The light
and,
flipping.
and I'm about to say, I don't love that beat either. Right after that is What If. Stop it, my nigga. You do not need to hear J. Cole go through Big and Pac's murder and say, what if these things... Tell me y'all needed... Tell me y'all needed
I
that.
like that concept.
I like
That wasn't my
I liked it conceptually. I just don't think that he delivered with the song. It just didn't hit a home run for me. Again, the concept is fire.
I think it was unneeded in the story of this album. I will say that.
Leave that for Joyner Lucas, bro. Let him do his thing.
For me, at 39, he don't have much to say. He don't. And for me, that's evidenced by what the fuck he talking about, which is a common flip. Yo, Biggie and Pac, if they was still around, you're 39. What are you doing? You was just lit in 29. You was tearing up. You back in the hood. They loving you. The old bitches is back. They hitting your line. Where you at? What you doing? You hype about it. At 39, he's already out of love with everything. And it sounds like that to me.
I don't feel none of this shit no more.
But it sounds like
That's
that
why you
to
don't
me.
need 24 songs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It shouldn't feel like that to me. And then for him to get to the end of this song and say, oh shit, she was like that from jump. Then you, one of the best MCs in the world, didn't need this to convey it for me. That's for me. Also, I thought this part of disc 2 had some of the beats that weren't as lit as the jazzy disc 1 beats. Like, this gives lo-fi to me.
And of course, this sparked split reactions. If Nas did this same album and inserted New York instead of North Carolina, dudes would say this album is one of the best, LOL, while on the other end, some agree with them. This is exactly how I feel about it, and I'm a huge Cole fan. I'm pretty disappointed. And as it stands, our data shows a divide between fans on X and fans on YouTube, as Gen X is currently beating out the fall-off on X, but the opposite is the case on YouTube with more votes, and it's got over 2,000 votes and counting. But what are your thoughts? Do you agree with the Joe Budden crew? And on my end, I actually enjoyed the album, but maybe it's because I still listen to music for the fun of it, not because it is a job, so I can relax and digest the music. And if you recall, Corey Holcomb and Joe Budden are beefing of what you could describe as the battle of the biggest alleged woman beater. And if you recall, Corey Holcomb went off. And now we got a response from Joe Budden aimed at both Corey Holcomb and Jason Lee for bringing up his allegations of DV, and we saw Joe Budden pretty much crash out.
I went home the other day and saw that Corey Holcomb still had my name in his mouth. I'm really so confused about that with all the controversy he's been caught up in lately. Corey Holcomb, you don't fight well enough to do this with me. Actually, if I saw you and we were breathing the same airspace, I would take it as a threat to me, a threat from God, a threat from life that we even in the same circumference. But Corey Holcomb, your fall from disgrace has been one that should be studied, from kind of funny to kind of bummy to I'm just the dummy. You over there struggling. You look a sandwich away from welfare. You dusty dog shit in the face looking motherfucker, boy. Corey Holcomb, I can't believe that you are engaging this way when you fight that way. Honestly, it's over. You over there just lonely and poor. Your co-host look bad. Not the woman. I'm not talking about her. Everything over there look bad. I know you down bad because you on a Costco table podding in front of a fake plant that appears to be dying. You failed at fatherhood. You hate yourself. You hate your daughter. Your daughter hates you. You failed at finances. You failed at funny. Your pod sucks. You failed at fodder. You just a failure all around the board. And don't forget the original point. You don't fight well enough to do none of this with nobody. Please, Corey over there, no shape up, a dusty derby. Corey look like he look like Grand Lispuba. Corey looked like he covered in just warts and scabs. Corey looked ashy yet damp. There's no reason why he shouldn't have the time for a back and forth with nobody right this second. It looked bad. It looks bad over there. And that's before he started losing all these gigs because of that video that came out. So prayers up to you, my brother. You're going to need it. No point in wasting time to do that. I can't make myself more than they already do. Jason Lee has watched his brother die in his arms. His dad hates him because he sucked. And he's watched countless men go in and out of his mom's room as she was selling to support him. There's nothing that Joe Budden can say to make Jason Lee hate himself any more than he already does. But prayers up to you, another one. I'm praying for all you niggas.
And while some users are shook, this is the first time I ever heard a celebrity say out loud, "I'm a celebrity." On the other end, we got some users out here proving 50's point and also the point of these rappers being hustlers rather than artists. This rant is better than any Joe Budden song I've heard over several years.
Oh no.
And apparently Corey Holcomb's co-host has fired back at Joe Budden.
Corey Holcomb, I can't believe that you are engaging this way when you fight that way. Your co-host look bad, not the woman, I'm not talking about her.
Damn it, Joe Budden. You done beat on more women than Clarissa Shields. You the GOAT. Hey, Joe, we changing pump it up to uppercut. I came to hit a broad on Valentine's Day. My uppercut never failed me on Valentine's Day. It's always on time and it's never rebellious. You got too many emotional problems to be fucking with me, man. I'm a humble, sound thinking, everyday man. You a head case, Joe. You the type of to hoop and foul with your mouth. I ain't no bitch, man. I'm just saying. I ain't no bitch, man. Shut your weird ass up, nigga. Go pop a Percocet and prank call Joe Rogan. Uppercut. I had the better numbers, man. Fuck Spotify. And Mark Jamal Lamont here, whatever your name is. Ain't you a Nuwapian? Ain't your leader in jail for building illegal pyramids and touching on children, nigga? Oh, hold on, man. We waiting on this. We waiting on the spaceship to free our leader, man. I'ma do Joe Buttons until then.
And all I would say is that this is a classic race to the bottom, as we got Joe Budden versus Corey Holcomb hanging on who's allegedly the biggest woman beater in the podcast space.
But man to man, you a serial woman beater.
And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts in the comment section. See you on the next one.